All right, looks like we are live. There may be a little bit of a lag between the broadcast and when you're actually seeing it. We're talking about a few seconds there. So by my time right now, I have about 9:58, so I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we will get this award ceremony started. All right, I'm back, everybody. I hope you're able to tune in and see this live or pretty close to live. If not, we will definitely be sending out the recording shortly after we finish up here today. So it's just after 10 o'clock. I apologize, I got back just a few minutes late. I mistimed how long it takes me to walk to the office and back. So I am ready to get started. We have quite a few kids that I just want to give a shout out today to and just recognize them for some of the things they've been doing this year. But before we get started on that, I just want to take every opportunity I can to just say thank you to all of you parents out there taking on some extra responsibilities and duties over the last 10 to 11 weeks, making sure that your kiddos are getting their work done at home and submitting those assignments and helping them work through that and communicating with the teachers and everything that you've done. So we really appreciate that. Also want to give a huge thank you to all of our staff here at Broadwater, especially the teachers, but also especially all the support staff. They have stepped up and done lots of extra responsibilities that they've never had to do before to make sure that teachers are getting all of their assignments, students are getting all of their assignments, other things are being taken care of, and at the same time taking care of their own kids at home and the learning there and trying to keep everybody safe and healthy. So just a huge thank you to all the parents, all the staff, and all the students for staying committed and engaged in school. If you didn't finish all of your work, you can still work on it for the remainder of the summer. It'll be good practice for you all the way through. So I just want you to know that on behalf of everybody here at the school, we miss you a lot. And I can't wait until this gym is full again with all your smiling faces, so I can stand up here in front of you or with you and we can enjoy this all together. So every day that goes by, we get a day closer to doing that. So just be patient and persevere, and we'll get there. So let's get started with some awards. All right, so the first students that we're going to recognize are a couple of our older boys that partook in Boys Honor Choir. So that's an extracurricular commitment. So done outside of the school day, where they get together with some of the other students of their same age around the district and learn some new songs and new techniques. So I want to recognize Talon Lane right here. Good job, Talon. And Logan Ross. So great work on that extra commitment and just giving out some of your time and your musical talents, because school's not just about the math and the reading. There's lots of other things that are important too. So good job to you boys. And thanks to the parents too for getting them to those practices and letting them partake in that activity. And then the girls honor choir. So we have Brianna Badger, Lydia Cohn, Ariana Demarest, Mickey Eto, Sarah Flesh, Peyton Hoyt, Leah Rainey, Aiden Smith, and Ananias Stalkup. Wow, what a great turnout from our Girl Panthers here at Broadwater for that West End Girls Honor Choir. So some of those girls are moving on to 5th grade next year at Lewis and Clark, and I look forward to kind of watching their musical future and see where that takes them. And a lot of times we're lucky to have those boys and girls at Lewis and Clark come back and perform for our school, so I hope to see them back here in the next couple of years performing for us. So great job, girls, and again, huge thank you to the parents out there for making sure that they're getting to those practices and had what they needed, and were able to do that. So thank you. All right, moving on to the next set of recognitions or awards are the two main awards that we focus on every trimester here at Broadwater. The first one is an award for personal success. We also call it our Growth Award. So teachers are looking for students who have really grown in any area. So it might even be something as simple as, maybe they've just matured a lot over the year. Maybe at the beginning of the year they blurted out a lot and they've learned how to contain that. So anything simple like that, all the way up to they've really excelled in their math or reading achievement. So it can be a number of different things. So we'll start with kindergarten and work our way up through 5th grade. So just know that we are especially proud of these boys and girls for working hard. So starting with Miss Berry's class, and excuse me if I pronounce some names wrong. Damian Easton out of Miss Berry's class. Congratulations. Mason Waters out of Mr. Jetmore's class. Kobe Cates out of Mrs. Roney's class. Aaliyah McGee out of Mrs. Reinhardt's class. Ava James out of Mrs. Kuba's class. And Miss Kuba actually had to come and beg me a little bit because she pleaded that she had 2 students that were very deserving of this award. So she was able to convince me, which isn't always easy to do, that both of these students deserve this award. So the other one was Brogan Haka as well. So good job there. Mrs. Rome's class, Ivan Deering. And Miss Stanway's class, Andrew Bowles. Moving on to 2nd grade now. Out of Miss Barker's class, Milena Rasmussen. And 2nd grade out of Mrs. Rote's class, James Frankham. And out of Miss Schultze's class, Caden Bartlett. And I just want to point out that she wanted to, because he participated 100% in distance learning, as well as a lot of our other students. But that was not easy to do. Having a fourth grader at home myself, I know that trying to keep up on all those assignments every day and continuing to work full time and take care of everything else that you have going on in your life takes a lot of commitment, both on the student's part and on the parent's part. So great job there. Moving up to third grade here, out of Miss Eberly's class, we have Ada Sundstrom. Third grade out of Miss Krasko's class, Susie Cox. That was also another 100% participation in distance learning. Out of Mrs. Bacon's fourth grade, we have Josie Campbell. Another excellent participant in distance learning there. Out of Mr. Steyer's class, Gary Cox. Again, 100% participation, great job. Out of Mrs. Streck's fourth grade, we have Grace Burr. Another 100% participation in distance learning. Moving on up to fifth grade, we have Dylan Sherry. Another full participant in distance learning. Out of Miss Kay's fifth grade, we have Kaysen Peterson, also 100% participation. And then out of Mrs. Redfern, formerly known as Mrs. Wicker's fifth grade, we have Eric Sundstrom, also committed to 100% of his, oh, sorry about that, Eric, I dropped your certificate. Also 100% participation learning there. Great job. All right, the next recognition is one of the most important to me and to a lot of us here at Broadwater School. And that's because it's a certificate of character. So for this recognition, this certificate, we are looking for the students who are our leaders. They are living by our school rules. We call them our universals. That's be safe, be respectful, be responsible. These are the students who are the role models for their fellow classmates and the rest of the school. So we really lean on these students to set the tone for the rest of the school. So very proud of these students. These are the kiddos I'm going to be, looking for later down the road to see what kind of leadership roles that they find themselves in, because I'm sure they will. So starting in kindergarten, Miss Berry's class, Jamie Wood Dukart. Congratulations. Kindergarten out of Miss Reinhardt's class, Frank Van Dyke. Out of Mrs. Roney's class, Avery Ramage. So these kindergartners especially, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on them as they progress on up through the grades here at Broadwater. And just hoping to see that they'll continue to be those leaders and that they will be bringing great things to our school for the next 6 years. Out of first grade, Mrs. Kuba's class, Marissa James. Miss Romay's first grade, Andre Bobo. Miss Stanaway's first grade, Alma Asin. Mrs. Barker's second grade, Sydney Hamblin. Mr. Jetmore, second grade, Mark Tribe. Mrs. Rote's second grade, Lewis Duffy. Mrs. Schulze's second grade, Keely Gray. Moving on to third grade, Caden Ryder from Miss Bracey's room, Taylor Lindsay, third grader out of Miss Krasko's room. I got to tell you a little something about Taylor. He was designated as our tour guide for any time a new student came to Broadwater, and he did a great job at that. So we really appreciate that, and we look for that to continue next year. So just like Miss Cuba had to come to me and do a little bit of begging, so did Miss Krasko. She said, you know what, I have these great characters in my room, and I just can't pick between the two of them because they have so many great traits about them. So we're also going to recognize Jesse Chavez for outstanding character as well. All right, Miss Eberly's class, Gage Asine. Now moving on to 4th grade out of Miss Bacon's class, Nora Sather. 4th grade out of Mr. Steyer's class, Jasmine Storton. 4th grade out of Mrs. Streck's class, Nicholas Kruger. All right, moving on to 5th grade. Out of Miss Kay's class, we have Wrigley Beals. And also out of 5th grade, out of Mrs. Redfern's class, Miss Redfern, formerly known as Mrs. Wicker, she just got married here recently, Daniel Kay. So we will be certainly missing some of those great 5th grade leaders as they move on to do great things in middle school. Okay, we do have one more recognition, and this is by far my favorite recognition of every year. The most important to me because this takes into account the whole amount of time that a student has been at Broadwater. So this is the YMCA Principal Leadership Award. So every year the YMCA invites all of the schools around Billings to nominate a 5th grader to receive this award. And typically that 5th grader gets to go with their family as well as the principal or another representative from the school and go down to the YMCA and get out of school for a little bit one day, have some great lunch, and get to see all of the other candidates from around the town as well. But unfortunately this year we couldn't do that because of everything that's going on with COVID-19. But I just want to thank the YMCA for still giving us the ability to give out this recognition because it's very important, and this student definitely deserves it. Every year it is extremely difficult for us to choose who is going to be recognized for this award. In fact, so difficult that instead of just choosing myself, a couple years ago I started making the Broadwater staff nominate any student that they thought might deserve the award, and then through those nominations we then did some voting, narrowed it down, did some more voting, narrowed it down, and continued that process until we got down to just one final candidate. It's hard to just name one because we do have many 5th graders here at Broadwater that definitely could have represented us well and earned this award. But this year we are giving this award, the 2020 Principals Leadership Award, to Titus Jones. Titus has been with us since I believe he was a 2nd grader. You can always count on Titus to come in with a smile and light up the school. But I just want to share a little bit of information that I got just from the staff on what they wanted to say about Titus. So since Titus joined Broadwater in 2nd grade, he has always been a great role model for his Panther peers. He has lived by our Broadwater rules of being safe, respectful, and responsible friend and student. He is a leader and a hard worker in and out of the classroom. He tries hard to help his classmates, no matter who is around or who he is paired up with. He asks questions and completes his work. His smile is contagious. Titus Jones is involved in Peak at Broadwater, whereas he is one of the top distance runners. Titus competed in the Yes race and the Peak cross country race. Titus adds to the positive school culture at Broadwater. So congratulations, Titus. Well-deserved, well-earned. Okay. Many of you are probably wondering, well, Mr. Huck, we already came to pick up our stuff on Wednesday. How are we going to get our certificates? Boys and girls, the certificates are going to be delivered to you at home, so you don't need to worry about coming and getting them from the school. We are going to get them to you. Also, just a couple of reminders. If you did not make it on Wednesday to pick up your leftover school supplies or anything else you have, I know we had a number of water bottles and some clothing items and those types of things. You can still come today and get those things. We'll be in the building till about 11:30 this morning. Then we're headed over to Terry Park shortly after that, so I can't guarantee anybody will be here. And then we'll open the doors back up probably for about the last hour of school today from 3 to 4. You can also come by next week. We should be here every day next week from 8 to 4. So feel free to bring your Chromebook back if you haven't done that. We still need about 14 of those, I believe. Bring back any library books. We're still missing a great number of those. Anything else that you might have borrowed from your teachers or from the school, please bring those back. And come and get your supplies, collect your report card. Your parents probably want to see that, and I hope you do too. So we will hold on to some of your school supplies for a few more days yet, but we can't hold on to it forever. So if we don't see you probably by mid next week, we're gonna have to start unfortunately disposing of some of those things. So please come to school or contact us to make arrangements so we can get those things to you somehow. All right, some reminders here. Terry Park, 12 o'clock today, our final rolling wave. That'll be your last chance just to kind of see all the Broadwater teachers for this school year anyways. Give them a good wave and a shout. We were originally going to do that right here at school, but earlier this week they started replacing some lines underground on Wyoming out there, so they kind of have the road shut down a little bit here. So it would not be a safe choice for us to continue with that event here at Broadwater. And our number one school rule is be safe. So we decided it would be much safer and much more responsible and respectful of us to move that over to Terry Park. So we will be there at noon. So you can hop in the car, you can hop on your bikes, you can even walk by if you live real close. We will be on the sidewalks closest to the park on Miles and Terry there. So you can come and do a lap, do 2 laps, do 5 laps, how many ever times you want to drive by. Just be respectful of all the other families and students trying to come by and wave as well. So that's at Terry Park today, 12 o'clock. We talked a little bit about returning items and picking up items. Just one more thank you to everybody for staying engaged with us throughout this whole process. Lots of you engaged on Seesaw, lots of you engaged on Facebook, a lot of you submitted talent show submissions, so we just appreciate all of that involvement, trying to have some kind of normalcy still in our school year here. And then the last thing we just want to tell everybody is forward thinking to the fall. We have every intention of having kids back in the building. However, as you know, things are always changing, so we'll just keep everybody updated on that, but that is our intention right now. Along with that is your students are going to need school supplies. Now again, as a parent of a 4th grader, one of my least favorite activities is going out in August to the stores and trying to shop the back to school supply sales with everybody else rushing around, and it's stressful for me. It might not be stressful for all of you, but this year we have another option for you. Of course, you can still grab the school supply list and go, to the local stores and buy your school supplies there. However, if you want a different option, we have worked with a company called First Day School Supplies. We have worked out our school supplies lists with them. So what you can do is get on their site, locate our school by just putting in the zip code 59101, and then it has every grade level broken down. So you can just select the school supply list for that grade level, Pay one flat fee. They'll pack all those supplies up in a box and ship them right here to the school the week of August 17th, and they'll be ready for you when you come back to school in August. So in order to utilize that option, those orders do need to be placed by July 1st. So we did put the link on Facebook, and many of the teachers put it on their seesaws, so you can find those there. And we'll be just constantly reminding you about that throughout the month of June, just to make sure everybody has every opportunity to participate in that. All right, that I think wraps everything up. So I'm hoping to see all of you today at noon at Terry Park. And like I said, just keep engaged with the Facebook page and the Instagram page. We'll do a lot of summer communications through there. I'll also continue to do the YouTube live videos anytime I have important information to share. So if you are watching this, I'm assuming you're already subscribed to the channel, unless you're watching the later recording. So you can subscribe to Justin Huck on YouTube. And then anytime a video comes out, you'll be able to have easy access to that so you can stay caught up with all the latest information. So congratulations to all the boys and girls today who earned their recognitions for positive growth, musical participation, great character, and of course to our Principal Leadership Award. So that about wraps it up. So I hope everybody has a great day. Have a great summer. I sure hope to maybe see some of you guys out and about in the neighborhood on my way to and from work throughout the summer, and certainly hope to see all of you at Terry Park at noon. So have a great day.